Okay, so today we're going to be talking about using the discriminant. It's lesson 10.7 in your book, and we are going to be talking about b squared minus 4ac. Now, you're going to learn in the next chapter. I'm going to kind of go backwards on you. We're going to learn about the discriminant first, and then we're going to see what part of the quadratic formula it is. But this is indeed part of the quadratic formula. I like to teach this piece before quadratic formula, only because then you see how it all comes together rather than taking it apart. I don't know, I guess I'm a constructionist rather than a deconstructionist. So anyway, using the discriminant b squared minus 4ac, this is going to tell us immediately how many solutions to a quadratic equation we will have. So the property of the discriminant is that for every quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a does not equal 0, if, we'll put the if there, if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, then there are two solutions. That means that your parabola is going to cross the x-axis in two places. Now, if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, there is one solution. And of course, as you remember from our graphing and from prior chapters, that one solution means that our vertex is sitting on that x-axis, whether it is a minimum or a maximum. And then b squared minus 4ac, if it is less than 0, that means there are no solutions. That is when our parabola is floating above or below our x-axis. This is actually a very short chapter. It isn't going to take us very long. So let's look at first one of our equations, which is x squared equals 2x minus 3. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is just create, I'm going to subtract this x squared from both sides, so that I get 0 equals negative x squared plus 2x minus 3. I'm now going to take my b squared. I really need to have somebody watching me, so we should get Mr. Googly Eyes out and make sure that he is watching over what I do, because Lord knows I'm making some mistakes. So b squared minus 4ac, and we will put in b squared, which is going to be 2 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 3. Okay, so this gives us 4 minus 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. Which is equal to negative 8, which is less than 0. So this would have no solutions. So why is that important? Well, because if you're going to be factoring to solve these, you're going to find out right away you're not going through the x-axis. So your graphing of the parabola takes on a whole different look, because you can find where your axis of symmetry is, but you're not going to be looking for points that are on that x-axis. So it does kind of make you look at it differently. Let's go ahead and look at another problem. Okay, so let's do 3x squared. Let me move this so that you can actually see what I'm doing. I've lost my dog. There he is. He's fine. Yes, I am here with my dog. Okay, so we've got 3x squared and minus 4x equals 7. Let's subtract that 7 from both sides to bring that over. So we have 3x squared minus 4x minus 7 equals 0. So b squared minus 4ac. b squared is going to be 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 7. Okay, so this is 9 minus 4 times 3 is 12, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this because 7, 8, 84, and negative times a negative means, so 4 times 3, this is negative, negative, so that's going to be a positive 84, okay, which is going to equal 93, which is truly much larger than 0, and so in this case we have 2 solutions. And I can say with certainty, because my 3 is positive, that means that my parabola opens upward. I have a vertex that's a minimum. I have 2 solutions, which means that my parabola will cross the x-axis in 2 spots. And so I can approach it in that manner of finding out all of that information. Just very quickly, let's look at what we're talking about with these solutions. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just very quickly make a coordinate plane. Okay, and we are just going to put parabolas on this coordinate plane as they apply to the discriminant. So, and as always, I do like to make my coordinate plane look nice. So if I have the b squared minus 4ac that equals 0, what I'm going to have is a parabola that touches the x-axis in one spot. If I have my b squared minus 4ac where it has 2 solutions, that's going to be coming down like this. Okay, and we can see that we're crossing it in 2 places. And then finally, if we have the situation where there are no solutions, that means that the parabola is up here and it does not touch the x-axis at all. So that is what the discriminant is going to tell us. So that is everything about 10-7. It's really a very short chapter. We shouldn't struggle with it at all. And in the next lesson, we're going to find out how it works with the quadratic formula. So, yoo-hoo, we are done with this part. Okay, let's move on.